Well, good evening, people. I hope we all are doing well today. Once again, we want to welcome you to the broadcast. This is your boy SUBOR from coming live from the members of Goyah studio. The time is 6:18, and the reason why I'm coming on 6 o'clock, as you all know, I've set a time in and time out. Monday through Wednesday, Monday through Thursday, we are on the prayer line from 6 to 7 o'clock. But sometimes that schedule change when we are fasting. So instead of coming on the prayer line 6 o'clock, we come there 5 o'clock. And that is the reason why we letting you know that that's the reason why we came on late today, because again, we all go. There can be no Mema Zokoya show, there can be no SUBOR Freeman, there can be nothing. And so that is why we encourage you people to join us on the prayer line. Let's set aside at least 1 hour a day. And so when it comes to that, we try not to compromise that. And that is why we apologize, because we came late. Normally we hear by 4 to 5:30 or before 6, we are done. And so for the next few days, this will be the schedule here. And so with that being said, we want to say happy birthday to all those who are celebrating their birthday in this month of May. Happy new month to each and every one of us. We tell God, thank you for crossing us over. We pray that God will bless you with long life, peace, happiness, prosperity as you celebrate another birthday and as we also enter another brand new month. We also say, if you are celebrating your wedding anniversary and if for on your birthday, we say double shout out to you and your family. We pray that God Almighty will bless your holy matrimony with peace, love, unity, happiness, and all that you deserve. And also want to say, if you are bereaved, we want to take this time to extend our deeper condolences to you and your family. We pray that God Almighty will comfort you. We pray that God Almighty will console you and your family, and that you give you strength to go through the difficult time of bereavement. Well, we want to welcome each and every one of you to the broadcast. As you can see, the headlines tonight, we will be discussing what I call, we'll be looking at President Joseph Newman Boaka 100 days in office. And we will look at, in, in our own opinion, what we think. In our own opinion, we'll tell you what we think about the progress, expectation, and what have you. And so tonight, we want to welcome you to the broadcast as we review this president, this government 100 day in office. I know there are a lot of, what's the word I'm looking for? There are a lot of what I call, at this early stage, people, there are a lot of, I don't want to use the word disappointment, but I think people expecting too much in 100 days, forgetting the fact that the country and the state of the country. And so we're going to look at the 100 days, what we believe that this government has done, and where are some of the things that we expect within the first 100 days. And from there, we will look at the headlines of the paper. Again, as you can see, we put the link in the chat room. And so we encourage you to actually take this time to come and give us your opinion. You know, I appreciate the fact that I'm getting a lot of attention from this show, and I see people encourage me to do what I'm doing. Sometimes, maybe at the pace that I want the show to move is not moving, but we remain grateful because people encourage us, hey, you are doing good job, keep doing what you're doing. But at the same time, I accept the challenge, but I also advance the challenge to you, because if you want the show to really get to that place you wanted to be, then we invite you to come in and sometimes give us your own opinion, your suggestions, what you think. How can we make things better? Because make no mistake, if Liberia will move forward, I cannot stress this enough. It is easy to sit and criticize. How long we've been doing this? How long we've been criticizing? I think it is about time that we actually get involved. And so we said this, that we put the link in there. Come, let us sit down and really analyze, discuss the 100 days of the rescue government. We can also say, you can also tell us, put it in the link, what you think this president have done within the first 100 days. You know, the essence of life, the essence of leadership. I say this to people all the time. One of the reasons why our leaders fail miserably, this one is not just in Liberia, but the reason why our leaders fail miserably because we look up to them to do everything. We think they got some kind of superpower. And so there are three things I know we don't do. Three major things. There are so many, but I'm going to highlight three. We do not pray for our leaders. We do not help our leader be successful. And we do not speak truth to our leaders. And if you combine those three things, that's a recipe for disaster. That's a recipe for failure. And so now we have to get out of that mindset where we can be able to pray for our leaders, we can be able to actually help our leaders, we can be able to tell our leader the truth. And how do we do that? Is by getting involved in the process. But instead of us sitting on the sideline and just criticize and pound and I don't know how to tear down everything. My people, I say this, let us do what we call constructive criticism. We're not talking about destructive criticism. And so that is why let us look at the 100 days in office of President Joseph BOAKAI'S. What can we say that he has done? First thing, I will tell you this. We know now, when I speak to you, I'm not speaking from somebody who's standing on the sideline. I'm speaking from the point of view where I was in Liberia 3 or 4 weeks ago, where I saw things firsthand for myself, where I didn't just go run around. No, I actually went to assess things in Liberia. And so in February, we were there because the government took over in January 22nd. By the 28th of February, we were there. So you can see, I think in less than a month apart, we hit the ground to just see for ourselves, to be able to feel. And so when you look at the entire country, you can understand indeed there are a lot of work, work to be done in Liberia. And so one of the things so far that I am impressed with, we see like the president, like the president promised, we see a complete representation of every counties. Every political party got somebody in there. And so I'm satisfied with that. We see less talking by this president, but at the same time, we see things moving gradually. Because it's not going to be easy. We all know out there, one of the things people complain about. And you know, I got there the few times I stayed there, I can tell you was the stability of electricity. The second thing that I saw, people are actually suffering in the country. The country is actually hard. I'm telling you. Now, I got there. That's what I heard from people, not just, like I said, I interacted with people up here and people down here. So I spoke to every segment of people across the, the political spectrum. The US rate is high. That's what they said. And I experienced that. But for me, with 100 days, I can't really say that until you say, I can't say that until you say, oh, you know, I can't really give you a complete, comprehensive, to say our all land thing that the OMA achieve, because there are just too many things. First and foremost, I think right now we can say that the formation of the government is coming together. Almost every major ministries has been filled, including the deputies. And so I think that's a big step. And like I said, we see people from various political parties in there. The second thing, we see the strife in terms of the road construction that is ongoing. And you can already see release seasons already in play right now. So that one, I don't know how they're going to do it. And the fact that we see this government, we see some form of leadership, where the rule of law, to some extent, at least being respected. And because that one of the things I saw in the country, when you say lawlessness to the highest, I saw that in Liberia. Because anybody can do anything and just walk. And so to see that this government now trying to, because again, it's just so many things, so many things, so many clouds of uncertainty. So to even say you can pinpoint to one thing, it just hard. And so right now to say that the government is one thing I would say in the 100, I think the government is taking shape. Like I said, I think we see that, you know what I mean? People getting their feet wet. And that's a good thing. Because now gradually. But before I continue, I will say this. We have to be patient. we have to be patient. We do not come on the show to defend any political party or any individual. The purpose of this show is to educate our people and to tell them exactly what is going on. And so maybe we might not reach the type of audience we wish to reach at this time. But we know by God's grace, we will get there. It will take time, but we'll get there. And so when we speak, at the same time, we want people to lower the expectation because, my people, let's be honest. There is no reason why don't get me wrong. We're not saying lower the bar. That's not what we're saying, lower the bar for this president. That's not what we're saying. Because we must admit that this president saw the challenges and within himself, he believed that he has the willpower to change the course of the country. And so we hold the president, we hold a feet to that because we believe, it's good to see things and you say, I'm able, but the president saw this and he embraced the challenge. He said, my vision for this nation, I believe I am capable to do the job for the Liberian people. And based upon his request and his vision, the Liberian people gave him the opportunity to serve his people. What am I saying? I'm saying I'm being very objective here. Yes, we have expectations, but at the same time, realistically speaking, we know that the country is in a deplorable state. And so the 100 days, I can put a lot into it because there's just too many things going around. There's too many things to tackle. But we can tell God thank you, number one, for life. Number two, for peace. Number three, our democracy is in line. But if we look at some of the policies within the 3 months, I think, I personally, and again, the link is in the chat room. You can always go there, and you can disagree or you can agree with me. But I think we are making some progress in terms of what we call good governance, accountability, especially some of the people within government, some of the things that have been done so far. And for me, I still say it's early. Not because we want to be, what's the word I'm looking for? We don't want to show any favoritism to this government, but my people, the reality here is Liberia is in a deplorable state. And so this 100 days, we see, like the woman talk about accountability. Now, I can't give you percentage to which extent, but at least gradually we're seeing some stuff. Now, today is May 1st. So starting from May 2nd now we expect to see real things start to happen now, because if you ask me, I would say the first 3 months were used to just put the government together. To just put the government, and yet instead the government not even together. And the holding and the pulling and what have you is ongoing within the ruling party itself. But we're seeing the noise is quieting down and the people business continue. Now, moving forward, we expect, starting from May 2nd now, I expect this administration to really start to put their footprint on some of the things, especially area like where the woman promised. I know when he said 90 days, you talk about the Southeastern region, you talk about rules. I didn't know when he said those things, Maybe you underestimated, I don't know. You underestimated the what's the one I'm looking for? You underestimated the time. Because you see, 90 days, 100 days gone. 100 days gone already. And so we're moving. Time moving fast. And so now, those things that the woman promised the Liberian people, us, we want to see, he talked about holding people accountable. So we want to see some policy in that direction. We know all those things that he said or he talk about will not even happen without your national legislature. It will not happen all your national legislature. That's a fact. And so we also want to make sure we mention that. We want to make sure we make that very clear, because now I start ready grading the government now starting from May 2nd. And so we have to be supportive in the process, because don't forget, this government here, don't forget, it was just yesterday that the budget passed. And so, like I said, it's just so much going on right now. So for me, I know there are a lot of people, and I'm going to tell them and say, hey, my people, let us calm down yet. Let's give the things some time. Because when you take over something and with so many broken pieces, it's not just easy to just start with what you be. The first thing first, you have to be able to fix all the broken pieces around you. Then we can even concentrate on your main agenda. And so, the 100 days, my people, I tell God, thank you for the peace. Liberia is peaceful. I tell God, thank you for the president and the leadership. We tell God, thank you for the oppositions. And I think one of the things that I want to say here is that I'm on record. You can go back to my show and say it. I'm on record. We can sit back and say it too early. But at the same time, let us be very constructive and be objective when it comes to critiquing this administration. Because sometimes, if we're not too mindful, and that is the reason why we always find ourselves going backward, because we get so impatient looking and understanding the situation. We expect miracle or magic to happen. And one of the things that I said, the Liberian people have to realize this. And I said this, you can go back 4 or 5 months ago prior to the campaign season. We don't let people telling us the truth. And so a lot of times people lie or people make promises that we all know is not ready or obtainable. And so even when we heard the woman giving talent, people understood they were not going to take 90 days or 100 days or 1 year. Because if you could tell the people, say, it will take each and every one of us to build this country. Liberia, you want to hear that? And that's what I try to bring us. I try to bring us to this place that we have to be honest with ourselves. Take, for example, like you look at the dirt that in the street. To clean that dirt alone, it's not going to take 100 days. It's not going to take 100 days. And so, we, in our minds, sometimes when people talking to us, we have to be very, very honest and say, I know I want this thing, but it's going to take us some time. But we tend to ignore all of the facts, all of the truth, because we want to hear, and because I think part of the problem is too, we have gotten to the place where I call hand out. We just too lazy. We just want free things. And so we sit in and sometimes, I don't know, we're dreaming or we're living, whatever what we're living in, but we just sit there and believe that, oh, okay, it will happen. The man is saying it. And sometimes, it's impossible. The reality is there. And the reality here is Joseph Boakai can't face the country in people talk about, the rules, you talk about forgetting to know that there's a democratic government where you have to be total control of the both houses. The government don't have that privilege. And even if you have total control of the both houses, look at the state of the country. No money in the country right now. It's just too many things that need to be fixed. But make no mistake, We're not saying it to say Mr. Boakai and his team should go lay down and sleep. That's not what we're saying. What we're saying here is we want to see progress. We want to see the president moving in the right direction. And I believe that this government is moving in that direction. And so we have to be very, very patient. We have to be very patient in manner, and we're going to pray and make sure we hold the government accountable. For me, personally, for me, I believe I would really start paying attention now, starting from tomorrow, because 100 days now, I gave you 100 days to just set up a government. Because don't forget, this was a victory that so many political parties came together to unseat the CDC government. So all those people have to get position. And we know how the fighting have been going on. So right now, I can say that I think to some extent, 75% of this government is in play now have taken a seat. And so we want to make sure that we say that we straight face. And so we are going to be paying attention to the government now, moving forward now. Now, yesterday I promised that we are going to talk about the development of future leaders, mentorship, and we all learn, and we'll give you some example. Because when we say stuff on the show, we don't just say because when we say we get very practical. What we say application, and we say let's apply it to the situation that we just talked about. And so we told you, I said the reason that we're struggling today now is the fact that we do not develop and we do not mentor. And so for me, after the 100 days, moving forward now, I'll be watching to see some of the policies that will be coming from the Ministry of Gender, the Ministry of Education. I want to hear from Internal Affairs. I know it's going to be changed to local government. The president just submitted a bill. He'll talk about that. We want to see because number one, are we going to restore our culture? Because I believe Liberia, in other words, I believe in order for any country, for a country to try to truly survive and be independent, then I think we have to protect our culture. And so I look at the Internal Affairs Ministry because there were just too many things that is going on. So for me, I'm going to be focusing on policy. I want to see now, because I will know from the policy that will be coming from the various ministries, from the gender ministry, because one of the things I saw in Liberia, young girls, prostitution is so high. women going back, the young children going back to that place where they believe the only way they can be successful is to use their body. And we have worked hard over the years to fight for our girls to understand that, hey, look, your body is something that God bless you with. It is not something that you're supposed to use to maybe take. No. You have to go to school. You got so much to offer to society. And so once see parties that come from the gender ministry, what can we do? The second thing we saw over there, what I call abuse, physical and verbal abuse. Children, abuse. What I saw in abroad, something we call child labor, where you see children in the street selling, risking their life, weaving between cars. I want to see what the gender ministry is going to do about that. The labor ministry. I want to see policy that will address the ill treatment of workers in Liberia. Since the formation of the labor ministry to address and take care of people, wages, people working over there, they got no insurance. They better get paid on time. People don't even have specific hours that they work for. And so we won't see policy in that direction. Look at our educational system, completely broken. The only thing the people do, they talk enough, they talk good. But if you get a pen and paper, I'm telling you, some of the people that say they graduated from college. Sometimes when they post something in writing on Facebook and what have you, I scratch my head. How would it be able to compete when you're sitting down side by side with your counterpart and you say you graduated from college? You hold a degree in business or accounting, and you can't even defend the degree. You better get high school, a complete high school diploma. Your comprehension level is just not even to a middle school. So we want to see policy from the Ministry of Education. How do we to address those things? Those are facts. We're not criticizing because we hear Liberia. That's why I talk about constructive criticism. So from this government standing for tomorrow, those are things I'm looking for. From the Justice Ministry, you can see complete breakdown. There is no law and order. We want to see what will be done. Police, you talk about the influx of drugs through our borders. Every segment of the country you pass, drugs is more accessible to our kids than education, than food, than clothes, than healthcare. I'm telling you, the children in Liberia can put their hands on drugs than to get food or clothes or place to even sleep. We want to see policy in that direction. Because if any country will be successful, your future leader got to be strong. That is your foundation. The family in the government in a country is the family. And so family are tearing apart because lack of good governance, what we call policy. I want to see that. After 3 months, people settle in now. People know their deputies. Look at the police. Look at what happened on the SKD Sports Stadium. Look at what happened. How people destroy the stadium because they're angry. And so these are things, looking at youth and sport ministry, youth and sport, what they're doing, what policy they're doing to improve, whatever programs that the youth and sport will come up with to help take our kids off the street, to make them, to occupy their mind with something different. Make them useful. That's what I will be looking for starting from tomorrow. I will also be looking at the Ministry of National Defense. What they're doing. Lands and Mines Ministry. We see our minerals, our resources, you name it, taking on the country every minute, every hour, every second. We want to see policy being put in place to deal with that. Our in Liberia, one of the things every night, and I tell people, climate change is getting real. The sun, the heat that is in Liberia is not easy. What are we doing in that direction to address pollution, to address the heat, to address rainy season coming? Because people cutting down the trees, no what we call reforestation, putting on replanting, none of that. What are we doing in that direction? And so for me, these are things I'm going to be looking at with a critical, what I call very critical attention. Because if this government now will do better, and if the government be successful, then we'll know from the policy. When we talk about policy, what do I mean? I'll give you an example. The LRA boss, Double Jara, said we can raise $1 billion. We'll raise the revenue by closing loopholes, eliminating waste. We have to put in policy that will address these things. And the first thing he said, let's go back to every payroll. So you see, those are policy. We will pay you when we call you and you show up. And we want to see what LEC. The demand for electricity in Liberia is so high. So these are things I will be looking at. Immigration. Our borders are not secure. Anybody can just walk through the border of Liberia with anything. We want to see what is government going to do in terms of aviation. Look at the prices of tickets to go to Liberia. I know, ask anybody that flying to Liberia, the least, if God bless you, the least you pay $1,700 depending on the time, but $2,000 for tickets. Freeport to ship from here to Liberia, I ship all the time. So these are things that we're looking at, because I believe if all these things will be addressed, to drop the airfare, the shipping fare, then I think even some of the hard times that the poor facing in Liberia will also go down. Prices will drop. So I don't know about you, but for me, these are things I'm going to be looking for. These are things I'm going to be looking for. So starting from tomorrow, because no more excuse now. No more excuse. No more excuse. And make no mistakes. I read the letter from the late Johnny Lewis. It is good trouble. He said he's almost getting good trouble. Nothing wrong with us rising up to hold our government accountable. We should support our leaders. We should pray for our leaders. We should also hold our leaders accountable. And would I hesitate to make the president know if you're going, if you're not doing what you're supposed to do, if you're not meeting our expectation, we'll say it. But we have to do it together, and we have to be very objective. We have to be very, very real. We can't be saying or setting unrealistic expectation, because I'm telling you, it's a complete mess. And so tonight, we want to say to you that the members of Goyah show will continue to speak. And we urge you to continue to share the video, continue to tell people about the show. And we appreciate each and every one of you people, each and every one of you people, for your continued support, your continued prayers, and all of the various suggestions and ideas that you continue to send our way, things that we need to do to get better, to improve the show. We appreciate every one of them. We take none of that for granted. And so we say again, every day we make sure we put the link over there. If you have the time and you got something on your chest, you want to say it, or maybe you say free, I disagree with what you're saying, just click on the link and you come in. And so we have to be very objective. And so I think I'm going to do a little bit something here too. I saw that we just want to run through the headlines and then we'll discuss it. Yeah. So let's just see some of the headline here. We want to see some of the headline. Yeah, we want to see some of the headline here, my people. I thought y'all going to work on this stuff, right? I thought y'all going to. So I think we. There you go. I think we got it because now we're taking. And you know, also, can you please just let me know what you think about the videos and the audio? You know, we're appreciative if you can tell us the audio. Yes, let us know so we can. So let's see. So this is the first thing I say. Joseph Boakai marked his first 100 days in office, Wednesday, May 1st, 2024, as LIBERIA 26th president under a cloud of uncertainty, apprehension, and gloom. And the reason why I tend to agree with the headline, uncertainty, because the first 3 months, you can't put your hand on anything to say yes, because it's just too many stuff. But we will know starting from tomorrow now. And so that's the headline right there. That's the first headline. And again, this segment of the show, this strictly the ideas of Dr. Samuel Bingo. This is one of the brothers who continuously call me, talk to me, come up with different ideas, how to make the show better. So every time we do this segment of the show, we want to acknowledge Samuel Bingo, and we also want to acknowledge Nathaniel Gablo. He said, you know, you can't read the entire paper, just give the people a glance of the headline so they can know what is happening. So we are very grateful. I'm very grateful to the guys. They have been with me every step of the way. And every time they come up with different ideas where I need to do to make the show better. So this is the first headline we see here. Now we're going to see the second one. First 100 days of Joseph Boakai. Let's see what the second one say. You know, I think we start doing this, but we have to do it now more often. President Boakai threatened closure of Western Cluster Limited over road damage and broken promises. There you go. That's what we want to see. President Boakai threatened closure of Western Cluster Limited over road damage and broken promises. We can't have people making fool out of us. You can't take Liberian people money and you're not performing what you're supposed to. You see, this is what we talk about. Some of the problem we're facing, it is our own self, because the people that are supposed to serve us, and these are things we're going to be paying attention to. These are things we'll be paying attention to. You can't take people money and be playing with us. We need heroes. Policy towards agriculture. I want to see what's going on with agriculture, because almost everything that we eat in Liberia comes from Guinea, Ghana, or Nigeria, you name it, Africa Coast. And the soil, our soil, when you spit, your spit, if it gets seed inside, it will grow. I'm telling you, the soil is so rich, but yet still we can produce nothing. Local commodities like pepper, potato grains, cassava, Edos. People have to go to Africa, Guinea, Sierra Leone. No, we want to see what the agriculture ministry is going to do in that direction. Policy starting from tomorrow. We start putting the ministry there one by one. We're going to get the name of the ministers and we start filing them. We want to know the names of all the ministers and we want to know what they're doing. And as you can see, the president threatening closure. That's what we want to see. We want to see action. Liberian people, we're tired with empty promises. Here you go. Liberia President BOAKAI'S throw jabs at critics during launch of the CSA policy guideline. Let them talk on Facebook. I want on those who will continue to talk. President say, President Joseph BOAKAI has thrown jab at pundits. No, that means really, really what? They call it the pundits. President Joseph M. BOAKAI has thrown jab at pundits opposing the primary work of his government. Nothing that oh, I tell you, the woman joking. The woman said nothing will deter his administration from ensuring Liberia gets on the right path. So we're going to talk, Papi. That's what we want to see. We want to see our president be, no time to mess around. No time to mess around. Yeah. Yeah, it's the truth. People passing here and there and saying, no. Papi say you make sure. And that's what we want. Supreme Court denies quest to prohibit suspension of LTA Governance Commission official. There you go. On our own. Stay there, sitting with talking. You get opportunity to make the Liberian people live better. They choose not to do that. President BOAKAI submit presidential transition bill to guide future power transfer. This one, I think we want to see this. I want to read it once more. President Joseph BOAKAI has submitted before the House of Representatives a bill that will govern all transitional activity of the government of Liberia following the holding of general and presidential elections. I'm glad he addressing this because this is something that from the onset, there are a lot of things that went on and he said it in his speech. These are things that we need to pay attention to. This is when he said it. And when he says something you follow through for me, it makes me happy. Because we can't wait for election to come before we start to correct some of the mistakes. And this is the first thing I give credit to this man, because a lot of people say they will stay there because it's working in our favor. No, let's fix these things. When election comes, so it will make the transition period very successful, cool, and calm. There you go. That's what I'm talking about. These are policies. Now, I like that. I'm not going to read the whole thing, but I just want I will read. Let me just go a little bit. In a communication to the House of Representatives on Tuesday, President BOAKAI'S said the non-existence of a legal mechanism or protocol for the organization and smooth transition have been a national issue, sometimes creating inefficiency in the process, and as such, there was a need to enact the bill into law. He said Liberia is rapidly cultivating democratic values for healthy, the the uh, the democratization, peaceful advancement, and enduring. I mean, look, I got that word. You know, when I get passionate, then sometimes I start fighting on my. But this is look. Here's the thing. This is what I'm talking about. Don't do something when it feel you. And that's why I respect what the woman is doing. Now, and the field policy, I'm glad this one is going to address it heads on, and we ask that the representative then take the bill seriously and pass it into law. Because sometimes they think around the process, especially the president in power, they got so much power that the president has over the election commission and some of the like, take for example, they needed money for the, how you call it, the inauguration committee. Money coming, the government said it only acting like the money is the president money. No, it can't be. We need a system put in place. Whether you win election or not, the Liberian port business must continue. Instead of people acting like they own it belongs to them personally, and they try to sabotage the incoming government. And so the Omekwa use this and say, I'm not going to test this. But the father, and he said it in his speech. He said it. This early on, he attacking it already because he understands that this thing that we play with, it has the potential to cause serious problem in the country. And we also were happy. The woman almost died because of the broken and failed system. That's what we're talking about. You get that you see something, fix it, not because in your favor. And that's what he's saying. That bill, I hope the House of Representatives or the National Legislature pass that into law. But you see that what we're talking about. Make it very, very easy that whoever win election, when you come in, the past government can be stepping on this and stepping on that. No. And with no time before I spend, it's 7:12. We have to go. We will be back here, but I want to remind us before I take my leave. I want to remind us something very important. Something very important. This coming Sunday, by God's grace, I want to tell us about, I'm still working on the schedule. Dr. Rupert Marshall will be my guest. Because I've been behind him, you'll be talking to us about what it means to be financially independent. A lot of us in this country and in Liberia, one of the reasons that we're all struggling, that one is not hearing the people in Liberia, but us. There are so many things we do not know. And I think, and we haven't done enough in our community to educate us as it relates to. Thank you, Frank. Frank Founder, thank you very much. I appreciate you. You always show up, you always comment. Thank you. You know, we thank you for all those good advices. Continue to guide the show. I really appreciate it from the bottom of my heart. I want to take this time to acknowledge you, brother. But let me get back to what I was saying. You know, a lot of us, we have been blessed to travel to what I call the greatest country on this earth, the United States of America. And sometimes when you're young, you're doing some crazy stuff, and we don't pay attention to things that, in as much we're doing crazy stuff, but we need to put some things in place that will protect us, not just us, but our children, our grandchildren, our great-grandchildren, our children, yet unborn, what we call generational wealth. But a lot of us, because we don't have the tools, we don't have the knowledge, and there are some basic or little things that we overlook. And so on Sunday, we're hoping to get Dr. Marshall. And I'm asking people, when you come from church, you eat, that you tune in, because this will be a very educative show as it relates to financial, what we call financial education. Because we are doing good as a community. And the reason why we're not realizing our full potential is not because I believe we don't want to do it, is because we don't know how. And the lack of knowledge when it comes to financial independence, a lot of things we don't know. Place where we're supposed to spend money and where we're not supposed to spend money, things that we're supposed to tap in that will make us better, we don't. And so we're hoping by God's grace, Dr. Marshall, as soon as we can get that, we'll start putting up the notice so you can tune in and just listen. For example, we'll talk about insurance, the importance of insurance. A lot of us got insurance, but you'll be surprised to know all those years we've been investing or paying for what are life insurance and what have you. There are different kinds of insurance. So I urge you that this coming Sunday, buckle up, tighten up, and just listen. And if you have questions, again, we'll post the link in there. You can always jump in, ask your questions, any concern. Dr. Marshall will be prepared to answer your question. And so once again, we want to say thanks to each and every one of you for your prayers, for your support, for your commitment, your dedication to the show. We say you have a pleasant night. We say thank you for everything. Share the video. We look forward to seeing you every time we're on the airwave. Once again, this is your host, SUBOR D. Freeman, saying so long from the members of Goyah studio. You have a pleasant evening and stay blessed. Good night, everybody.